Welcome back to Exposure Stories. Marty Raney has remained one of the most recognizable faces in modern homesteading television, largely because of his rugged personality, deep survival knowledge, and decades of living off the Alaskan wilderness. For years, viewers watched him travel across America on the Discovery Channel series Homestead Rescue, helping struggling families learn how to survive off-grid. Whether he was building water systems, reinforcing cabins, or teaching families how to live sustainably, Marty became the heart of the show. That is why fans became deeply concerned when he suddenly seemed to disappear after Season 6. His reduced presence sparked widespread speculation online, with rumors ranging from retirement to health issues and even false reports claiming he had died. The sudden silence from both the production team and Marty himself only intensified the mystery, leaving loyal viewers searching for answers about what really happened to the Alaska legend. Season 6 of Homestead Rescue aired in 2019 and ended with a special finale episode titled Homestead Revisited, where the Raney family looked back on some of their most memorable rescues. At the time, everything appeared normal. Marty was still leading projects, guiding families, and doing the physically demanding work fans had come to expect. However, when Season 7 premiered in August 2020, viewers immediately noticed something different. Marty was largely absent from the spotlight, while his children, Matt Raney and Misty Raney, took on more responsibility in helping families transition to off-grid living. Because there was no official explanation from Discovery or Marty himself, rumors spread rapidly across social media and online forums. Some fans feared the worst and speculated that Marty had passed away, while others wondered whether he had quietly retired from television altogether. Despite the rumors, Marty was never seriously ill, nor had he passed away. In reality, those close to him suggested that one major reason for his silence was simply his personality. Marty has never embraced celebrity culture in the way many television personalities do. He values privacy and prefers spending time in Alaska rather than engaging in interviews or maintaining a constant public presence online. While he became famous through television, he still viewed himself primarily as a homesteader, mountaineer, and outdoorsman rather than a celebrity. That private nature left fans without clear answers during his absence, creating a vacuum that fueled speculation. One of the biggest controversies tied to Marty's disappearance surfaced in August 2020, shortly before Season 7 aired. Attention was suddenly drawn to a song Marty had recorded decades earlier titled Adam and Steve, from his 1997 album, Strum It from the Summit. Although the song had existed publicly for years on platforms like Spotify and Amazon Music, it suddenly became the subject of criticism after an anonymous individual brought it to wider public attention. The lyrics sparked backlash online, and the controversy spread quickly across social media. Soon afterward, the album disappeared from streaming services, and reports indicated that the show's production company distanced itself from the controversy by emphasizing that the song did not reflect the network's values. Because the controversy emerged almost simultaneously with the launch of Season 7, many fans believed it played a role in Marty stepping back from the series, at least temporarily. Some speculated that the network may have requested he reduce his visibility while the backlash cooled down, while others believed Marty himself chose to stay out of the spotlight during the controversy. Another factor that likely contributed to his absence was the physical and emotional toll of his lifestyle. Marty had spent years traveling constantly to film episodes across remote locations in the United States. According to interviews he gave in the past, filming a single episode of Homestead Rescue often took around a week, and there were years when the team filmed nearly 100 days straight. Even for someone as tough as Marty, that schedule was exhausting. By the end of Season 6, he was already in his early 60s. Although age alone was not stopping him, the demanding nature of the work, climbing cliffs, chopping wood, carrying supplies, and enduring harsh weather, inevitably took a physical toll. Fans who followed the show closely noticed that Marty had spent decades pushing his body to its limits in the Alaskan wilderness, and many believed he simply needed time away from the relentless filming schedule. His personal life also played a significant role. In 2021, the Raney family experienced a devastating setback when a fire damaged their original cabin in Hatcher Pass. The tragedy became part of the storyline in an episode titled Fire on the 40, which documented the family's efforts to rebuild the unfinished clifftop cabin before winter fully arrived. Rebuilding the homestead demanded enormous effort, including hauling stone, cutting timber, and restoring essential utilities such as water, power, and heating. For Marty, whose identity has always been deeply tied to his home and family, the destruction of the cabin understandably became a major priority. Rather than focusing solely on television production, he shifted attention toward rebuilding the place his family had spent years creating in the Alaskan wilderness. There were also rumors suggesting Marty had become ill, but there has never been credible evidence supporting those claims. In fact, Marty appeared healthy in later appearances and interviews. He had openly discussed his love for staying home in Alaska with his wife, Marty Raney, and hinted that he enjoyed spending less time on the road. Some fans interpreted his reduced screen time as a deliberate effort to allow his children, Matt and Misty, to take on larger leadership roles within the series. Both had already become fan favorites in their own right, with Matt specializing in hunting and construction while Misty focused on farming and sustainable living. The transition allowed the show to continue evolving while reducing some of the pressure on Marty. However, Marty's disappearance turned out not to be permanent at all. By late 2021, when Season 9 premiered, he returned to the series in a much more visible role. His comeback reassured viewers that he remained committed to the homesteading lifestyle and the mission of helping struggling families become self-sufficient. Fans welcomed his return enthusiastically because Marty's personality had always been central to the identity of the show. His leadership, humor, and no-nonsense attitude were difficult to replace entirely, even with his children stepping up. As of 2025, Homestead Rescue continues to remain successful. Season 12 premiered on October 27, 2024, and continued airing into 2025, proving the franchise still has a strong audience. Reports surrounding Season 13 also surfaced after Matt Raney shared updates on social media indicating production work had already begun before Season 12 even finished airing. That announcement reassured fans that the Raney family had no intention of ending the series anytime soon. Marty continues to appear connected to the program and the homesteading community, even if he chooses a somewhat lower profile than before. Outside television, Marty has continued influencing people interested in off-grid living. Through social media, interviews, and online content, he still shares insights about survival skills, homesteading, and life in Alaska. His decades of experience living in remote wilderness conditions have made him a respected figure among outdoor enthusiasts. Beyond entertainment, he has also supported charitable and community-oriented causes in Alaska. Programs associated with the Alaska State Fair, including scholarship initiatives and Helping Hands programs, have benefited from contributions connected to the Raney family. Those efforts reflect Marty's long-standing commitment to supporting local communities and helping younger generations. Marty's journey into television was never planned from the beginning. Born in 1957 in North Bend, he left home at just 16 years old and headed into the Alaskan wilderness seeking adventure and independence. In Alaska, he worked a variety of physically demanding jobs, including stonemasonry and mountain guiding. At 18, he met Marty Raney, who shared his adventurous spirit, and the two eventually married. By the late 1970s, they had settled in the remote Alaskan region of Haines, where they built a floating logging camp and worked hauling timber along rivers. The work was dangerous and exhausting, but it taught Marty many of the practical skills that later made him famous on television. Over time, the family moved deeper into the Alaskan wilderness to a 40-acre property near Hatcher Pass, where they raised their children while living almost entirely off-grid. Marty also developed a reputation as a skilled mountaineer and guide. He guided expeditions on Denali, the highest mountain in North America, and even performed music on the summit during some trips. His unique combination of survival expertise, mountaineering experience, and rugged charisma eventually led to opportunities in film and television. Before Homestead Rescue, he appeared on Ultimate Survival Alaska between 2013 and 2016, where he became known as one of the standout personalities on the Mountaineers team. By the time Discovery Channel approached him in 2016, Marty was already a seasoned outdoorsman with decades of real-world survival experience. The network needed someone authentic, not merely a television personality pretending to understand homesteading. Marty fit the role perfectly because he genuinely lived the lifestyle he taught others on screen. His practical skills, leadership abilities, and deep knowledge of wilderness living made him the ideal figure to lead families through difficult transitions into off-grid life. Over the years, that authenticity became the core reason fans connected so strongly with him. Even during periods when he stepped away from television, viewers continued to admire him because he represented something real in a world where many reality shows feel staged or exaggerated. Ultimately, Marty Raney never truly disappeared. His absence after season 6 was likely the result of several overlapping factors: controversy surrounding an old song, exhaustion from years of demanding filming schedules, personal priorities involving family and rebuilding his homestead, and a desire for greater privacy. Yet despite all the rumors and speculation, he eventually returned, proving he was never finished with homesteading or television. Today, Marty remains one of the defining figures of modern survival television, continuing to inspire audiences with the same rugged determination that first made him famous. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.